let us look into Tat Tei Ta Ha number 3. Let's start with the first layer, the legs. Let's see it once. Dalang kutak dikku tak tadinkin tum tat tei ta ha dhit tei ta ha tat tei ta ha dhit tei ta left tat tei ta ha dhit tei ta ha tat tei ta ha dhit tei ta. That's right. So now when we look at this, the layer 1, we'll see that there is tat, tei, kuttanam and ha. We would have learned this kuttanam in Kudithu Mettadavu, where we jump and we drop. Here is a difference that you are staying in the same position with one leg and striking the other leg. So it requires an amount of strength so that you are able to take it up and strike it down. So at that time we have to make sure that this is not falling to the floor but trying to stay there, right. This is one thing. And the second part is when you finish the right side, that is you have Tat Tei Ta Ha, Dit Tei Ta Ha, Tat Tei Ta Ha, Dit Tei Ta Ha. You finish the left, and often the mistake which is made is that when you do the left, you have to strike the same leg which you struck last while doing your right side. So you finish with your left leg, and to start the left side you beat the left again. If you are consciously doing this, then there won't be that mix up of the legs. Now let us move into layer 2, which is the torso part. Now when we look at the torso part, let's come into the 7 knotted of a diagonal position. You can find your own line according to your body, making sure that this part and this stays in line but in a diagonal, right. Now what we are doing is we are trying to reach out in the same direction which the hand was held and then come back. So when you go there, you are going to make sure that you think that there is a glass passage and you need to reach out to something which you really love. So which means that you need to really pull your stomach in, keep your glutes in, and with control go and reach out to anything you like. And let us say it's a cookie jar. So you want a cookie from there. So you really become thin, go far and reach out. So this is your bend on this side. But that's not it. When you're doing Tat Tei, you're going to take this hand above in Natyarambham. Once your hand reaches the top of your head, you're going to gently bend with your torso and come back. So if you notice, it's not Tat Tei where you're doing a lot of movement the whole while, but from here, this is a quick movement. Ta is slow, ha, you come back. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, only the torso. Tat, Tei, Ta, Ha. Time it well. Tat, Tei and Ta, Ha. And Dit, Tei, Ta, Ha. Once again. 1, 2, 3 and Tat, Tei, Ta, Ha. Dit, Tei, Ta and Ha. That's right. So if you notice here, there could be a tendency to arch your back. It's important that you try to keep as neutral as possible, and when you do Tat Tei Ta Ha, make sure that your body is not going to the back. When the body goes to the back, it sort of pulls you behind, so it's very difficult to hold the balance. So it's important that your stomach is in and the torso is 1 one bit front without that big arch which you create in your lower back, right? So now the second part of it is where you go Tat Tei. So as though you're receiving from the heavens. Tei, come to neutral. Tat Tei, and that and use it for meaning that space which I do and at, so that you can understand where it falls in the talam. Tat Tei, and there's no body movement. Then you drop it to the shoulder from here. Ta Ha. Dit Tei and Ta Ha. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 and Tat Tei and Ta Ha, and Dit Tei and Ta Ha. That's right. So when you're doing Tat Tei, you're already in the center, and is a movement where you're not moving back also, but you're finishing that back movement, and is just the hand turning, not with the body. Let's see it again. 1, 2, 3 and Tat Tei and Ta Ha, and Dit Tei and Ta Ha. So if you notice this Tat Tei and Ta is a cut movement. Ha is a movement which goes on increasing. Just because you need to go to the next, you are finishing that movement. Otherwise, you should think as though this is going to keep on growing, as lengthening and lengthening as much as your mind could go, right? But you're finishing it only because you need to go to the next. When you think about that, then it's a line with a narrow mark which keeps on extending, which makes the Adavu all the more expansive. Now let us see with the legs and the torso movement. 1, 2, 3 and Tat Tei and Ta Ha. Dit Tei and Ta Ha. Tat Tei and Ta Ha, and Dit Tei and Ta. Now left and Tat Tei and Ta Ha. Dit, keep your body front. Tei and Ta Ha, and Tat. Come back, only the wrist. Ha, and Dit Tei and Ta Ha. Once you have this in place, layer 3 is pretty simple, because you're just going to turn to Tripatakam and go far without the other hand. The other hand would have helped you maintain that line as far as possible. Now your other hand's line is an imaginary line which you have to have it inside, which is why doing the second layer before the third layer is very important, because you can actually draw the line and see how that works. And then you can make that line imaginary and keep the other hand straight. Let's see it with the third layer. Dhalang kutaka dikutaka tadinkinna tum tat Tei and Ta Ha, and Dit Tei and Ta Ha. Very nice. Tat Tei and Ta Ha. Dit Tei and Ta Ha, and Tat Tei and Ta Ha. Dit Tei and Ta Ha. Try not to bend before coming to the and Ta Ha. Dit Tei and Ta. So those are the 3 layers for the third Tat Tei Ta Ha. Now you can practice.